There we go.
Oh, good. Good. Okay, I'm gonna mute myself now.
There we go. All right, let's start with some basic knee raises, just standing knee lifts. I'm gonna tilt my camera a little bit so you guys can see me better. So everything that we do is gonna be totally self-paced. So if I move forward and you're still working on something, feel free to let me know. I'll backtrack and remind you if you need it. If you're ready, you can bring those arms up a little bit higher. Make it a little grab and pull. Keep it here for a few more seconds. I'm going to keep checking in on the screen here to see if anybody else joins us. All right, kick the heels back. Still butt kick. So all these movements, you can keep them soft as we get started. Take some nice deep breaths. All right, walk it out. Roll those shoulders back. Nice big shoulder rolls all the way down, all the way back. And reverse it. Roll them forward. All right. We're going to open up the hips. Bring that knee across the body and taking it wide. So if you want to grab onto a countertop or a chair for balance, you can. Nice big squeeze. We're going to try to get about 8 on each side. Give or take. Take your time with them. All right, take the feet wide. Take side to side. All right, right here, center. Come on down, drop the hips. Extend through the knees and roll on up. So keeping that back nice and flat. Hinge down at the hips. And roll one vertebrae at a time. Couple more. All right, shake it out. One more time. Real quick, we're gonna run through it. Some high knees. Let me check in, see who's here. All right. Woo. Miss Bang, you're gonna have to confirm for me one of these days when it's nice and quiet. I wanna make sure that I'm pronouncing your name correctly as you prefer it, but we'll get there. Right now I can't hear very well. But good morning, I'm glad you're here. Let me move this out of my way. All right, kick the heels back. Basic ham curls right here. So this time, if you want to make them a little bit bigger, you can. Just kind of open up the chest a little bit while we're here. So we're going to run through all these movements one more time, so you have plenty of time to catch up if you need it. All right, walk it out. Roll those shoulders back. Nice big shoulder rolls. Roll them forward. All right, this time let's go ahead and open up the chest. Give yourself a big hug. Open it up. Other arm on the top. So we're just alternating that top arm. Nice and wide. Big hug. Couple more. This is your hug from us here in Wellness. All right. Open up the hips real quick. This nice big knee sweep. Other side. All right, here we go. Take it wide, side to side. So if you already did one round of these, feel free to work a little bit deeper into it. Get a little bit more of a stretch. Got a lot of legs and a lot of hip work this morning. So get them ready. Bring it to center. Come down into that nice squat. Lift those hips. Roll up through the back. One more time. All right, take it loose. You're gonna give me about a dozen or so jacks. They can be high or low impact. So your low impact is right here. Nice big arms. Tapping those feet out to the side. High impact works great too. These are at your pace, so just a dozen or so. 12 to 15 is fine. To get that heart rate up a little bit, let me check in. See who's with us. Brianna, good morning. So if you're just coming in, we kind of work through some head to toe warm-up movements, some good shoulder rolls, some chest openers, some high knees, some butt kicks. Open up those hips, throw in a few jacks, get the heart rate up a little bit, and then we're gonna get started. So take your time warming up if you need a couple more minutes. If you're ready, we're gonna go in with squats. So these can be body weight squats. You can use any type of resistance that you have handy. Resistance bands work too. I'll show you all of them, but it's gonna be that 12 to 15 range again. So if you've got a dumbbell, you can hold it right here in front of the chest. If you have two dumbbells, same thing. Leaning back with those hips. So just like there's a chair behind you, you're gonna tap the chair with the hips. Back stays nice and flat. Full extension at the top. So lean back with those hips. Press through the heels on the way up. Take your time with them, 12 to 15. Nice, good, strong squats. These are whenever you're ready for them. So if you have a resistance band, you can anchor the band under both feet. Right here, you're gonna get that tension, that resistance on the way up. We're still dropping the hips back behind, keeping that core nice and strong, nice and braced. Push through the heels. So your resistance band squat's gonna look just like this, and you're gonna feel that resistance pushing up on the way up. So when you have finished your 12 to 15 squats, you're gonna grab resistance for an overhead press. Basic overhead press. So again, dumbbells or resistance band. If you got a resistance band, this one's gonna be tough. 12 to 15. Nice job, Miss Lisa. So right here, we wanna make sure that those weights are coming up directly over the tops of the shoulders. 12 to 15, depending on how much resistance you've got. Nice and controlled on the way down. So you're gonna have one more exercise in this block. We'll repeat it 2 more times. Take the breaks whenever you need them. So if you need water, yes ma'am, will do. So when you're ready for them, the bent over rows, and I'll step back and make sure you guys can see this one really well. Again, resistance band or dumbbells. I'm going to show you this one with the band. With the band, it's going to be anchored right here underneath your feet. Back stays nice and flat. Hands can go over to the hips. Elbows come up towards the ceiling. Release it nice and slow. Let me check our chat. That's good because I can't get everything on the screen at one time. So y'all let me know. All right. So this is your 12 to 15 here as well. Everything here is going to be 12 to 15 depending on how much resistance you have. You want to keep those elbows in fairly close to the body. Back stays nice and flat, kind of drawing the shoulder blades back toward the spine. Nice strong pull, nice controlled release. Oh, like an invisible stool back there. Press it all the way up at the top. Very nice, Lisa. So some of the keys with these squats, we want the knees to be tracking in the same direction as the feet, over behind the laces if possible. That may mean that we don't get all the way down to parallel or below. That's okay. Now, if you get below parallel, that's fantastic. Make sure that that belly button stays gently tucked in, shoulders stay down and back. Remember, the butt's the boss. So after you finish those squats, that next exercise, back to that overhead press. I'm gonna see if I can get an overhead press in with my band. I've got a little bit lighter one today. So one of the things you can do with a resistance band, if you need a little more slack, is put it under one foot instead of both. Always make sure that you're mindful of that controlled release with the bands. So in other words, don't let that resistance snap it back down. Use both faces of that movement. So we're pressing straight up over the shoulders, back down with control. Excellent. 12 to 15. When you finish these 12 to 15, we're going to go back into our rows. So those bent over rows, nice flat back. Pinch it forward. We're kind of drawing those dumbbells or the handles of your band right up there toward the base of the rib cage. Release it slow. And again, I'm giving you a little bit of leeway with your reps here because I know we're all working with different equipment right now. So you want it to be challenging without having to do an excessive amount of reps. If you're getting up around 20, 25 reps, we can look at ways to better increase that resistance. One way is always slow it down. A little bit of a hold at the top, just increase the tension there. And when you're ready, one more round. Starting back with the squats. So whatever equipment you have, whatever you have to hold on to. I know Farouk has showed you guys some workouts with like a backpack full of books. Those work great for squats. Dumbbells in front of your chest, resistance bands, whatever you have to work with. So again, lowering down through the hips, just like there's an invisible chair back there. We're gonna tap it with the tailbone. Full extension in the hips at the top. So when you finish that round of squats, that's your third and final round. Next is those overhead presses. And again, this one is dumbbells or bands. So as we get tired, one thing to look for with the overhead presses is making sure that we don't round forward and press from the chest. Shoulders right over the hips, keep it tall. So we're pressing right here, directly over those shoulders. 12 to 15. This is your last round overhead. So same thing here, we can increase that time under tension by just slowing it down a little bit. However many reps challenge you with the amount of resistance that you have available, whatever equipment you've got. After you finish this round of overhead presses, last exercise in this block is those bent over rows. Anything you've got to provide adequate resistance, hinged over, flat back, kind of almost like you're trying to touch your elbows behind you. You're going to feel those shoulder blades drawing together. Tension right across the upper back. So I'm going to do this last round with my band again. Make sure when we're releasing those bands that we stay in control of it. Don't let that band take over. All right, how are we doing, guys? Let's check our list again here. Ah. Sorry, I know you guys have my thumb in the screen the whole time I'm pushing buttons here. So when you finish that last round of bend over rows, go ahead and grab some water, take a quick little break if you need it, kind of reset everything. This next block is going to be a little bit more leg heavy. We're going to go from a reverse lunge on each leg into a single leg deadlift on each leg. So starting with the basic reverse lunges, you can hold on to resistance if you have it. And again, I'll show you something with a band that you can do if you don't have dumbbells. So starting right here, hip width apart, we're going to step that foot back directly behind the other hip, center the waist. Now you can make that a stationary lunge. Let me see. Perfect. I like it, Erica. Use what you have, right? So right here, stationary lunges or reverse lunges. Either one works, you choose. So of course the stationary lunge is going to give you just a little bit more stability. So if you feel more comfortable, more confident here, lowering straight up and down, that weight is centered between the front and back leg. If you would like to step in and out of it, make sure you're stepping back so we're loading the push on that front leg. Back to center. Always keeping those feet hip width apart. So I'm sorry, I didn't give you reps. 8 to 10 on each leg. If you've gone beyond that, that's okay. Just even it out. So we're going to do 8 to 10 on each side. Now wait for it because we're not done. You're going to be back in a very similar position as the starting position for your reverse lunge. However, the front knee is going to stay extended and we're going to hinge at the hip. You can keep the back toe down or you can lift it. Nice flat back. That front knee stays soft. Press the heel up nice and tall. So if you're lifting that back leg, you're going to look a little bit like a seesaw. That back is going to stay nice and flat. Shoulders are going to stay tucked away from those ears. So I've got the resistance band under my foot right now. So what's happening is I'm getting that same resistance on the way up that I would with a dumbbell. Similar. I'm going to feel that little pull up the back of the leg. I'm going to do 8 to 10 of these on each side. So we're doing lunges left, lunges right, single leg deadlift left, single leg deadlift right. That's hard to say. So this is going to catch up. This is going to be a lot of the hamstrings, a lot of the glutes. So when you finish those, you got as much time as you need. 8 to 10 on each, 8 to 10 on each. Push-ups. Now these push-ups are as many as possible. However, there's a disclaimer. As many as possible with good form. So hands are going to be right here, just outside that muscly part of your shoulder. So when you lower down, chest is going to come down between the thumbs. Elbows are pointed about 45 degrees away from the body. We're going to lift and lower. That whole torso is one unit, as many times as you can until we start to lose form. So the chest starts to kind of cave in a little bit, or the back starts to round, the belly button starts to drop toward the floor. That's when you hit fatigue, and you're going to rest. This is as many push-ups as you can do with good form. And you can do these elevated on a wall. You can do these on the floor, on your knees, on your toes, hands on you got a nice stable bench or something, whatever you need. Your push-ups as many as possible. So everybody's reps are going to look very different on these push-ups. So whenever you're done with those, we're going to go back to the top. We're going to do the lunges and single leg deadlifts again. That's it for this round. So 8 to 10 lunges on each leg, 8 to 10 single leg deadlifts on each leg, as many push-ups as you can. And I'm gonna step back and show you both of those with dumbbells. Switching sides. And that front knee. Try to keep it right there, over or behind the laces of my shoes. Shifting the weight backwards so it's divided between that front and back leg. I feel a lot up here, right here. Glutes of that front leg. Single leg deadlift with the dumbbell looks exactly the same. Base leg, that knee stays soft. Back is flat. We're hinging forward at the hip. Pressing through the heel to come back up. So that toe can stay close to the ground for balance. You feel confident here. Lift it. So if you're ahead of me and you finish the second round, I hope you've moved on to push-ups. As many as you can. Round 2. So of course your second round of push-ups might look very different from your first round. Shoot for the same number of reps if you can get there. So when you have finished as many push-ups as you can this round, take another quick little break, grab some water if you need it. I'm outside, so I'm bringing a lot of water. And we've got one more round of that. Reverse lunges, single leg deadlifts. So a lot of tension is gonna build in the backs of those legs up into the glutes. If this is bothering your knees, speak up and let me know because we can troubleshoot that. One of the most important things you can do for those lunges to help protect those knees is making sure that we keep that wide stance. So if we're stepping back into it, we're stepping back right behind the hips. So rather than feet in monorail, we want railroad tracks. Nice wide stance. That's going to help that front knee to track right there over top of that foot. Keeping it aligned is going to take the strain out of the knee. But talk to me if it's not working for you. 8 to 10 lunges each. 8 to 10 single leg deadlifts each. The same thing applies with that single leg deadlift. Knee and toe tracking forward as we hinge down. I want to try to keep the hips and the chest level with the floor. So we're resisting the twist. And again, if you don't feel super confident with your balance in that position, you can keep that toe hovering a little close to the floor. Another option is just a couple fingers on a wall or the back of the chair. You want just a little bit of security. You can cover those fingers there just in case you need them. These are also great for balance. So challenge yourself a little bit. Not so much that you're going to fall over. And then you have one round of push-ups left. As many push-ups as you can do. Take as much time as you need getting ready for them. If you can hit the same reps you did on the first 2 rounds, fantastic. If you're kind of getting a little bit fatigued at this point, you don't quite make it, that's a good place to be. Means you did what you came for. As many push-ups as you can do with good form. So this next one is going to change up just a little bit because I'm going to give you several options. One option is if you have a resistance band that you can tie in a loop and you want to tie it in a loop, that's great. If you have one that's already in a loop, you can use that. And I'm going to put this right just above the knee. All we're going to do is walk our squats side to side. How many you do is totally dependent on how much space you have, but I want you to try to take at least a good 12 to 15 steps in each direction. You can count them. Come down, lower those hips a bit. There's 1, 2 to the left, 1, 2 to the right. So get 12 to 15 on each side. Now, if you do not have a resistance band to use for those, you can actually come down to the floor. You can do side lying leg lifts, and I'll show you those. And make sure you can see me. There we go. So we want that body to be perpendicular to the floor. Bend that bottom leg. We're going to lift and lower. So one of the keys with those side lying leg lifts is that we want those hips to be parallel to the wall. We want them stacked on top of each other. So the primary muscles that are working are right here. Those glutes, the glute medius, outer leg, as opposed to rolling forward or backward. We're going to get more into the front and the back of the hip. So right here, outer leg, outer hip, 10, 12 to 15 on each side. From there, it's simple calf raises. Calf raises can be body weight. You can hold on to some form of resistance. One hand on a wall for balance. However you'd like. Try to hold that little pause at the top of that raise and then roll down nice and slow. Come on up, pause, roll back down slow. So this can also be a balance exercise. If you have those fingers next to a wall, pause and roll back down. Last exercise in this block is going to be a reverse fly. So we're going to be in the same position we were in for the bent over rows. Lengthening the levers. So take the hands nice and wide. Knuckles are coming up toward the sky, up toward the ceiling. So we're hinged forward, back is flat. Dumbbells or resistance band. Lifting right here at the back of the shoulders. 12 to 15 of these as well. So a little bit higher reps for the upper body. Now we cut it down a little bit for the yes, ma'am, absolutely. So like one by one is in each side? Most definitely. Did I answer your question? Oh, okay. Yes. Okay, so the second one was calf raises. I'm sorry. So we had the abductors, either the squat walks or the side lifts, either one. Calf raises. And then reverse flies. Those were the 3 exercises. Does that help? I miss having a board that everybody can see where we can put them up there. So your reps on all of these, for the side of the leg, the squat walks or the leg lifts, that's going to be at 12 or so on each side. Probably going to be a little bit lower. They're going to fatigue quickly. Your calf raises, you might be able to get a few more reps in there. A little closer to 15. Your reverse flies, anywhere between 12 to 15, depending on how much weight you're using. And you have 3 rounds of those, just like the other sets. So when you finish those reverse flies, back into the side of the leg. So if you want to see the options for the side of the leg, side of the hip again, let me know. But they're basically a banded walk, side to side, Or if you don't have a band to give you that resistance on the outer part of the leg, you can lie on your side on the floor. Make sure the hips are stacked. Lift that leg. And I'm going to show you guys those again. Right here, lying on your side. Bend that bottom leg for balance. Lift and lower. So again, squat walks or leg lifts, whichever one you're doing. Calf raises, reverse flies. So again, your reverse flies, flat back, chest nice and low, knuckles up towards the ceiling. Again, resist that momentum on the way down. Lift with control, lower with control. With a resistance band, it looks about the same. Back nice and flat. Lift, lower with control. Lower with control. So 3 total sets of those. And then y'all kind of check in with me and let me know whereabouts you are. I know some of you are going to be changing equipment, changing positions, taking the bands on and off. So I want to make sure I don't move too fast. Starting round 3, perfect. Thank you, ma'am. So likewise, if you get done quickly, if you've been using more or less the same equipment and you're kind of trucking right along and you're ready for the next round, speak up. I can start going ahead and giving you those exercises. And if you need me to repeat what we just did, feel free to ask. Tell me what you just did and I'll tell you what to do next. The good news is the next round's going to keep us on the floor the whole time. So I'm going to give you guys all the time you need, and I'll start instructions on that next round on the floor whenever y'all are ready for it. I miss being able to see you guys face to face, but I'll take the chat. So I'm going to bring you guys down to the ground with me for this next one. So if you're getting close to finishing up, that last round, outer leg and hip, calf raises, reverse flies. Grab your water and get ready to come on down to the floor. If you're still working on it, continue working on it. There's absolutely no rush. Take as much time as you need. It's always quality over speed. Work through them at your pace. And again, ask me if you need me to repeat any of the exercises. All right. Erica, I'm going to go ahead and start giving you the next two on the floor. Oh, I figured out how to move the chat box. Awesome. So this one's going to be all core. We're going to come down into a plank position. I'm going to try to angle where you guys can see me better. I'm going to give you some options to add some rotations to it. Hands are going to be placed right here underneath the shoulders. You can come to the knees or to the toes. So lock in the upper back nice and strong. Lift the belly button. Gently tuck the tailbone down. Here's one option. Simple rotation side to side. So we're here. Shoulder over wrist. Wrist over shoulder. Nice and stacked. If you want to add on to that, you can add that kick through. So it's going to be a little bit less stable, bringing that foot up off the ground. So use it if you're comfortable with it. If you prefer, you can keep both feet on the floor for a little more stability. And it looks exactly the same if you're here. Support it. We're going to do 10 of those on each side. I'll give you some more choices for that in just a minute. So in other words, we're going to rotate to each side 10 times, and then we're going to flip over. Just 10. Lift and lower. So as we're lifting and lowering, try to keep the upper body relaxed. The shoulders rest down toward the mat. Let the back of your head rest on the mat. And you can keep those heels suspended just above the floor at the bottom if you'd like. Or you can go ahead and rest them for a moment in between each lift. It's up to you. So again, we'll do 3 rounds of that. We're just going from the plank rotations to the leg lifts. So if you need a break in between those, stop, grab yourself a drink of water, and then flip over. So if you're not comfortable taking either hand off the ground during a plank and you feel more stable, more secure with both hands down, that's perfectly fine. You can gently dip each hip, or if you'd like, you can lift each hand without going all the way overhead. So whatever your body allows, whatever you feel comfortable with, balance-wise. Now, if this is not comfortable on your wrist, you can always opt for the forearm plank. Most of those are going to look the same on your forearms. So if this is uncomfortable on the wrist, right here, elbows directly under the shoulders. Same rules apply in your plank here. Upper back is strong, belly button's lifted, tailbone is down, and we can rotate here. We can rotate at the knee here. We can dip the hips here. Lots of different choices. 10 on each side for those rotations, and then 10 total on those leg lifts. 3 rounds. Breaks whenever you need them. How's everybody else doing? So as we move through these, if I do not give you an option that works for you or you're not comfortable with one of the exercises that I give you, don't hesitate to let me know, because there are a lot of different ways that we can accomplish the same thing. So this is your workout. Likewise, if I give you something that maybe you can't do and you just really don't feel comfortable with it, or you just absolutely hate it, that's okay. We can work around it. We got lots of options. We're going to make this workout yours. Now, granted, if you hate it because it's hard, that's what we're here for. But so again, 3 rounds of the core, and same thing. I know we're all working at a different pace. I know we're all working with different equipment and different positions. So if you finish this up and you're ready for the next thing, let me know. If you're still working on the previous thing and need me to repeat it, let me know. We only have one block left after this, and it's sort of a bonus round, I guess. So in other words, if you don't finish all of them, awesome, fantastic. If you don't finish all of the last round, that's okay. If you do extra of the last round, that's okay too. So basically, once we finish these core exercises on the floor, that's kind of the main body of the workout. And the last round is kind of like bonus points. And you can do as many as you want, or you can do none of them, and that either one's fine. So that way we'll all wind up kind of closing out at the same time. So I'm going to go back through some of those plank options in case you were finishing up the last exercises and you want to see those again. So it's 10 rotations on each side. Hands or forearms, whichever feels better to you. Either way, you want the hands or the elbows right under the shoulders so we're nice and stacked. Upper back is engaged, belly button's lifted, tailbone is down so the core is engaged, glutes and quads are engaged. You can reach all the way up, wrist over shoulder, over wrist. If you want to add, you can make it a little kick. You can do these rotations right here at the knee. We can dip those hips, knees or toes. Excellent. And then all of that can also be done here. Ten on each side. When we flip over for those leg lifts, where we want to relax from the shoulders up. Hands wherever they're comfortable for you, out to the side, at the back of the hips, up here by the head as long as we're not pulling. Lift and lower. Take your time. Take your time. Remember, momentum is not a muscle group. Make sure the core is doing the work. Slow is strong. Rest the heels on the floor in between each lift if you need to. You want to make it a little more challenging, keep those heels suspended. Flip over so you guys can see my legs a little bit better. Awesome. All right, I'm going to bring the camera back up here. So that last round, the one I kind of described as sort of a bonus round, we're going to do biceps, triceps, and a little bit of cardio. So it's 10, 10, and 10. Basic biceps curls. So up tall, drop the shoulders down and back. Upper arms locked into place. Only joint movement is the elbow. 10 curls. When you finish those 10 curls, 10 triceps. Now you can do any triceps variation that you like. I'm going to do kickbacks here. Same position as our rows. Elbows are up, locked into place, and then we kick them back. So pinkies toward the ceiling, toward the sky. 10 and 10. Now after you have finished 10 biceps and 10 triceps, I'm going to say the B word, 10 burpees. Now, if burpees are just absolutely off the table for you, you can insert any cardio exercise that you like, whatever your favorite is, and get creative with it. You can do 10 skaters on each side if you like those, but no, burpees don't have to be high impact either. So, a lot of different ways to do them. Your standard burpee, we hop the feet out, hop them back in, and come all the way up. Make sure that we're dropping the hips when we come down to bring the hands to the floor. Same thing on the way back up. When we pull the feet back in, hips come up last. So with or without the jumps, with or without the pop in and out, you can step them. Keeping those hips low. Or have fun with it. Any kind of cardio exercise that you want to insert the equivalent of 10 good solid reps. You should be tired at the end of those 10 reps. Take a quick little break. As many rounds as you can. We have just under 5 minutes. So 10 biceps, 10 triceps, 10 of your favorite cardio exercise. Repeat. You might get 3-4 rounds in. So when I say 10 of those cardio, if you're doing, say, jumping jacks, if you do 10 jacks and you're like, I could do 10 more, go ahead and do 10 more. You can adjust that number as needed to kind of get the intensity level up a little bit. The idea is to be tired, not completely gassed, exhausted, but tired. And then we go back, 10 biceps, 10 triceps, 10 burpees, or your equivalent, whatever you choose. Again, whether it's because you hate burpees and you just, you do one round and you're over it. That's okay. I won't judge you. Just get your cardio in however you like it. I'm going to put the music back on for you guys. I'm going to do a couple rounds of this with you. Got a few minutes left. I don't judge anybody for what they say during burpees. So I'm going to show you another variation of triceps. Right here overhead, upper arms by the ears, extending through the elbow. So you can do these in place of the kickbacks. You can switch back and forth. You can go from kickbacks to overhead, or pick your favorite and stick with it. Same muscles. Ten, 10, and 10. You have just a couple minutes left. So again, this is your finishing round, however many you can do. So if you get 1 or 2 rounds in, that's great. If you get 3 or 4 in, that's great too. If you hit 5, that's all right as well. Little extra biceps and triceps won't hurt you. Triceps of your choice. All right, I'm going to mix up the cardio portion for mine. I think this is going to be my last round. Got just a little bit of time left, so wrap up whatever it is that you're working on. If you are, see, this is where you want to be, a little bit heavy breathing. If you are in the middle of a bicep tricep round, feel free to finish it. You can work all the way through, do your burpees or whatever you're doing in place of them. If you've already finished your last round, grab some water, let your heart rate recover a little bit. I'm going to stand here and talk to you guys for a minute while my heart rate comes down. and then we'll get ready to stretch. So, if you were working slowly, kind of taking your time, pacing yourself through the core exercises, which is fantastic, it's always a good idea, and you want to do a little of the biceps, triceps, burpees after we're done, more than welcome to. I'm gonna break it up, do it later today. That works too. But we're gonna stretch together here in just a minute, so please stick around for the stretching. I'm gonna bring the camera back down so we can stretch on the ground, on the floor. All right, have a seat when you're ready. So if you just finished up a bunch of burpees or burpee alternatives and your heart rate's still really high, take your time coming down. You're gonna sit with one leg extended out front, sit up tall, hinge and lean into it. Thank you guys so much for joining the workout this morning. Thank you for sticking around for the stretches. So important to do that. I'm gonna pull up something a little more relaxing for us. Let's hold this one for maybe another 10 seconds. Almost there. All right, release, let's switch. Extend the other leg. Up tall and hinge into it. Where is it? I had a cool down playlist. There it is. There we go. Hold this one for about 10 more seconds. All right, release. Bring the soles of the feet together in front of you. Sit up nice and tall. Lean forward, just like we're pulling our belly button toward the floor. I can see the comments. It's a nice touch, isn't it? Hopefully y'all can't hear the traffic driving by. All right, release. Comfortable seat. Sit up nice and tall. Chest toward one wall. Guys. I mean, I'm not very good at recognizing bird calls. I know we have some western mockingbirds, a cardinal, a couple of blue jays, something else living in the backyard. Release, turn to the other side. But I have no idea which one's talking right now. I bet it's the mockingbird. Release. All right, go ahead and lay back onto your mat. Oops. Killed our music. We're gonna cross one ankle over the other knee. Bring both legs in towards you so you can reach through. Reach all the way in and grab the shin. Spin the leg, whatever feels good. Take some deep breaths. We're going to stay in this stretch for a few more seconds. And release and switch across the other ankle, over that knee. Bring those legs in. Few more seconds over here. And release. Roll over face down. Always one of my favorites. We're going to open up the chest. So go ahead and extend one arm straight out to the side, other hand under the shoulder, and we're going to roll toward it. So I'm going to roll this way so you guys can see me. Hands under the shoulder. And we're just going to lift. And we're rolling toward that outstretched arm. So you want to feel this stretch in the front of the shoulder and into the chest. This is a great stretch to do daily, whether you've exercised, whether you've worked out or not, especially if you work at a desk or at a computer. And you can do this on the wall too. You can do it standing. It looks very much the same. Place your hands against the wall and then basically turn your body away from it. All right, let's release and do it on the other side. I'm going to flip around so I can face it. Extending one arm out, other hands right there in front of the shoulder. Lift and roll toward the outstretched arm. Hold this one just a little bit more. All right, release. We're going to step back into child's pose. Step hips back over the heels. Walk those hands out front. A little more comfortable, you can always take the knees a little bit wider. All right, from here, if you like, you can fold that mat over if you have a mat or a blanket underneath the knee for a little more padding. You're going to take that other leg forward, drop the hips toward the floor, press them forward gently until we feel that stretch in the front of the hip. I'm still on the screen. And of course, the alternative to this, if that extra padding under the knee still isn't comfortable, you can come up top. Either one works. All right, release and switch. I'm going to flip it and pad underneath the other knee. Again, if that extra padding still doesn't feel comfortable back there, just lift the knee, come on up top, tuck the hips forward until we find that stretch in the hip. All right, release. Come on up. I'm gonna bring you guys up here with me. Give me a couple big deep breaths. Nice big inhale, reach up overhead. Exhale back down. One more. Roll the shoulders. That's it. You guys are done. Thank you so much for tuning in on a Saturday morning. Y'all can turn your mics on now if you want to. Say hi. Congratulate each other. Saturday morning warriors. How'd it go, Miss Lisa?
It was great. Hope y'all didn't mind the interruptions a little bit here, but
Not at all. Not at all. Awesome, Neris. Thanks for tuning in. Neris, are you with City of San Marcos, or I'm trying to remember where I saw your name, or is it 4318? I'm trying to place some of the names that are new to me.
I need some your chicken.
Is that
Okay.
one of your little ones over there, Lisa?
do what?
I hear a tiny voice over there.
Yes, she's wanting to make some chicken for me.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, so it was a great
Nice
workout,
little,
guys. Thank
Healthy
y'all.
workout protein. See,
Exactly. Y'all have a great weekend.
Thanks,
You
Jess.
too. Uh-huh. Bye, Erica. It's good to see your face.
Thank you. Bye.
And I'll see you guys soon.
Yes, ma'am. We're getting out right now.